Hello everybody, all you wonderful people, and welcome to the 22nd episode of my HTML tutorial. In this episode I'm gonna be discussing the layouts of websites. There's many different techniques to do that, but I'm gonna make an example with flexbox. So yeah, you will soon find out what is flexbox, but before I do and go ahead into that, before I go to that, I want to show you the HTML layout elements. So HTML has several semantic elements that define the different parts of a web page. For example, we have the header element, and this is used to define the header. Usually it's in the top section of your web page. Then we have the nav element, and the nav element usually includes some kind of a navigation bar. Then we have the section tag. It usually defines a section in a document. Then we have the article element, and it defines an independent self-contained content. We have aside. It defines content aside from the other stuff in the web page, like a sidebar. Then we have a footer. This is usually the bottom of the web page. And then we have the details tag that can be used to define additional details that the user can open and close on demand. And then we have the summary, and it defines a heading for the details element. Alright, so with this information I'm gonna go ahead and create an example website. So first of all, I'm gonna create an H1 heading over here, and this is gonna be an example website with flexbox, or with display flex, I shall say. Alright, so let's get into it. I'm gonna do this a little bit differently than normally, but let's say that inside of here we will have I'm gonna remove these for now. Let's put an H2 heading inside of the header. So it's going to be saying cities. Alright. And after that, we are going to define a section to the website. And this is going to have a navigation bar inside of it. I'm gonna be using an unordered list for the navigation bar. And then I'm gonna make some list items. For example, London. I'm gonna copy this a few times. New York and Paris, for example. Okay. And then I'm going to get out of the nav section, or the nav element, and I'm gonna create an article that's gonna have an H1 heading of London, and then a paragraph with some sample text. There we go. Alright. And after the article element, I'm also going to get out of this section, and then I'm gonna create the footer inside of here. And I can create the details element and summary. For example, copyright information. There we go. Okay. So now we gotta go ahead and style this, and by the way I gotta make these into links, so I'm gonna make href and add a hashtag. By the way, I gotta add an anchor tag and cut the text inside of that. So I'm gonna remove these, I'm gonna copy that, there we go, New York, and then Paris, and the href is not gonna lead anywhere. This is just gonna be an example. And by the way, this is not gonna be the final example website that I'm going to create. I'm gonna create a full copy, for example, of YouTube or something. So I'm gonna be creating a full clone website at the end of this tutorial, but right now this is only going to be an example. Alright, we got everything in here that we are going to be needing, so we can pretty much go ahead and start styling the website. So let's go to the CSS style sheet. I'm gonna select all the elements and use the box sizing property of border box. Then I'm gonna select the body element, and I'm gonna use the font family of Arial Helvetica backed up by sans serif. Alright, then I'm gonna take the header element, I'm gonna make the background color gray. I'm gonna add some padding of 30 pixels. The text alignment will be at the center. The font size could be a little bit bigger. And color white. That looks good. Also, I want to take the margins off. Alright, that looks even better. There we go. After that, I am going to take the section element. So let's go here, style this section. I'm going to use display flex. So now you can see there's a difference right over here. And then I'm going to select the nav element, and I'm going to be using flex 1. Over here, padding will be 20 pixels and the background will be that. I'm gonna make it into an HSL value and use a dark background. Actually, let's take something colorful. Alright, that looks okay. And I'm gonna do the same for the header. Let's use this one, for example. Okay. So here we got a header. Then we got the navigation bar here. We got the section over there. Or this entire thing is the section. And yeah. Let's go ahead and style the unordered list of the nav bar. So I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna change the list style type to none. And then I'm going to make the padding 0. Alright. There we go. And that's gonna be it for that. Then I'm gonna take the article element, which is going to be this one, containing all the information about London. So I'm gonna go and use the flex tree on that, and background color will be F1, F1, F1. We haven't gone through the display flex property yet, but we will go through that in a future episode. But for now, this is just gonna be an example of a simple website layout. Alright, there we go. And then I'm gonna style the footer. Background color will be... Let's use a gray color over there. Let's make this 50%. There we go. And then I'm gonna add some padding. The text align will be centered and the color will be white. So this is what we have so far. We got a website over here. The header is pretty big. I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. Like that. So yeah. We got an example layout of a website right over here. I could also go ahead and delete that. Okay. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of padding over here. Alright, now it's covering the entire page. Also, this one could be a little bit smaller. This one a little bit bigger. And why not make that one a little bit bigger? That can be 30 pixels. Then inside of here, at the details, I can add information. So inside of the paragraph, I mean the summary tag, we can add a paragraph with this is an example layout of a website. Alright. And that will appear over there. I made one little mistake. I gotta add this, not inside of the summary tag, but underneath the summary tag. So, when I go ahead and open this, click, I will see this paragraph. This is an example layout of a website. Now this could contain some copyright information, but for this video and this video's purposes, we are not gonna need any. Alright, so yeah. Basically, this is a very simple website layout. I just wanted to show you this. So yeah, something to mention is that the header element, the section element, article, footer, stuff like that, they all behave in a similar manner as the div element. But the reason why we are using these tags is for search engine optimization, SEO. So it's better for search engines if you use these correct tags instead of using the div element all the time. I have been repeating the thing that whenever there's a tag in HTML for something, use it. So once again, I'm gonna repeat that. If you're creating a header for your website, use the header tag. If you're creating a footer for your website, use the footer tag. And so on and so forth. If you are creating a navigation bar, this is my navigation bar. It doesn't have any functionality, but this is just to show the layout. So if you're creating a navigation bar, use the nav element. And so on and so forth. Anyways, this is a very simple website design that we can use. It's created with the flexbox design. There's also multiple other ways to create websites. We can use grids, we can use floats, we can use frameworks, or we can even combine all of those together. And I'm gonna be combining some of those elements in the final website clone that I'm going to be creating. I'm not sure about the website that I'm going to be cloning yet, but YouTube front page could be a great example. But anyways, this is what I wanted to showcase to you guys in this episode, a simple layout of a website. And this is basically how it works. So yeah, when we get to the episode when I'm gonna start creating the clone website for practice and showing it to you, then we will be creating this some website. I think it's gonna be YouTube, and we are gonna be creating it in a more complex manner. So this is very simple. This is very simple. So when we are going to create the clone website of YouTube, most likely it's gonna be a lot more complex and advanced than this. This is just a basic layout showcase. This is just an example. But yeah, when we get to the actual creation of the website, you will learn a lot more about all this stuff. But anyways, this is gonna be it for this episode. I hope you found some of these things useful, and I hope I'm going to see you in the next episode or some other video on the channel. So yeah, have a wonderful day to yourselves and happy learning, everyone. Bye bye.